year could mean many are saving up to buy that dream home. And joining us to explain what this year will look like for home buyers and sellers, we have realtor Shamoot Kishore from Lathrop in the Modesto area. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. So what's your overall take on what the housing market will look like for 2026? Is it a buyer's market, a seller's market?
I think it's a very exciting time to be a buyer in the market right now. We are seeing a lot of variables change in the market when it comes to things like interest rate cuts. We're seeing a lot more inventory available for buyers to scout in the market. We're also seeing sellers realize they can't have their cake and eat it too. We're seeing them making concessions. So in terms of offering credits to buyers for their closing costs, seller made repairs as well as taking a cut off the ticket price. So we have anticipation for further rate cuts in 2026. We're roughly around 6% interest rate average nationally. So in turn, over the course of the year, we should see lower interest rates as well as those other accompanying variables that make it a more advantageous situation for buyers.
So if you're either looking to buy or to sell, do you think prices are going to go up a little more, or do you think we're going to start to see prices come down a little bit? So
year over year, we're seeing the Sacramento, the Stockton, Modesto market, we're seeing a slight decrease year over year. However, in the grand scheme of things, we're seeing record level appreciation for these homeowners, and sellers now may take a little bit of a price cut to sell their home, but overall, with things like more inventory, more options to choose from, rate cuts. We have a new Federal Reserve being appointed in May of this year, who is very pro interest rate cut as well. So that'll make affordability better for buyers, making their monthly payment better. So overall, we should see more variables go into favor for buyers.
So for Sacramento and Stockton, year over year, it was up it was down just a little bit, but in Modesto, it was actually up.
Correct, and there's a lot of nuances when you look at each of these markets. So when it comes to Modesto, year over year, they were up 1.6%, and byproduct of that is because of the migration that we saw from the Bay Area. A lot more buyers see more value in the Central Valley. They don't want to buy a 1940s to 60s home for north of $1 million if you're lucky, and then having to make those repairs. So we're seeing that transition, and by doing so, that demand goes into those local markets. So when you see Lathrop, Tracy, Manteca, price points there is around 600, 700,000, but if you drive about 20 miles east in Modesto, you get a lot more favorable for the same kind of housing structure.
So even though we saw the Fed cut interest rates, you're not going to really see that trickle down to mortgage rates for at least 6 to 9 months, right?
Yeah, typically when the Federal Reserve cuts or increases rates, it takes some time to be fully felt into the market. So over the course of 2025, we saw interest rates fluctuate around the 6% range, whereas the year before in 2024, it was closer to 6.5 to the high 7s. So going into this year, we should see that steadily decrease.
All right, we are out of time, but I want to give the biggest tip he gave me before we even went on was, if you're looking to buy a house, go look for a new house, a brand new build, because those builders are starting to give a lot of concessions, maybe even paying closing costs and that sort of thing, right?
Absolutely.
All right, well, I'm sorry we're out of time, but thank you so much. We'll have you on again.
It's my pleasure.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.